Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Oswaldo from Rockentry. We hit 20,000 subscribers. 20,000. That is a lot. That is a lot of you guys. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this. I remember how hard it was for me to get 100 subs. 100, you guys. 100. It took me months to get 100 subscribers. My first 100. So I noticed that a lot of you have been sharing, liking, commenting, and that really helps Rockentry a lot. Thanks to you guys. I'm really thankful. Now we're gonna get into the Q&A. So I asked you guys to ask me a question on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna be sharing my current projects and behind the scenes and some stories, my rest days and all of that. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'll put my thing somewhere. Okay, let's get started on first question. This is a question I get asked a lot. This is by Razia to the Top. How long have you been climbing and what's your favorite outdoor climbing spot? Okay, so I've been climbing for 3 years this April. So I'm gonna share with you guys my first photo at lab, LA Boulders. That's the name of my gym, one of my gyms. On my first day, I got so many flappers, and that's me climbing a V0, you guys. A V0, V1, V0, but I was struggling so much, I remember. And this is in April 16, 2016. And this is the only picture I have from that day, my first day climbing. And who knew this day was gonna change my life and start like all of this channel, make new friends, build new relationships. It's been amazing for sure. And what's your favorite outdoor climbing spot? My favorite outdoor climbing spot, it's gotta be right now. It's Red Rocks. I have a lot of projects in Red Rocks. And another favorite spot is Stony Point. I really like Stony Point. The reason why I like Stony Point is because the grading there is so hard. It is so hard. I'm still struggling on a V5, so I have a lot of respect for Stony Point. So I'm looking at my computer for the questions, you guys. This is by Nate Thomas 220. What city are you based? I'm based in Los Angeles. This is by Large Values of 2. What improved your climbing most? Nutrition, condition, or just climbing? Everything, a little bit of everything. I don't just focus on one thing. I focus on everything: nutrition, conditioning, and climbing. Eating habits were very important when I first started climbing because I was extremely overweight. Well, not extremely overweight. I was like 30% body fat. And condition, I needed a lot of condition. I needed to climb a lot. So I pretty much started from scratch. So a combination of everything for sure. There's no just one thing. This is by Seniful. Any advice on when to start training on hangboard? This is a question I get asked a lot too. I've been climbing for about 4 months. Hangboard, you know, you don't need hangboard for the first 2 years at all. First year for sure, you don't need it. Because you can build finger strength as you're climbing, because you need to climb a lot. You need to build technique, you need to build endurance, there's just so much to learn. You shouldn't be worrying about hangboarding so much. This is why I did my previous video on it's not about finger strength, because to start off, it is not about finger strength. There is so much that you have to learn. There's technique, body positioning, footwork, you know, there's so much. So I would say wait. You've only been climbing for 4 months, and wait for a year, if not 2 years. This one's by Joe Warbrick. What's your training plan and nutrition plan like? Or are you pretty lax on it? On my nutrition plan, I used to be really strict, like I said, when I started, because I was trying to lose weight. I was trying to lose body fat. I was at 30% body fat, and then I was really strict on my diet, my eating habits, and I lost most of it. And my training plan, I'm really strict on my training plan now. Now I'm at the point where I need to train in order to progress. I can't not just climb and see myself climbing harder than what I can. But obviously, I'll still have to climb a lot and train a lot as well. So I'm pretty lax right now on my eating habits, but I'm still, I still think about the things that I eat. But yeah, let's see. This one's by Nyoko Koberitse. What tips would you give climbers on ways to stay motivated? Ways to stay motivated. Motivation is different for everyone. I can share how I get motivated and, see if it helps you. But how I get motivated is setting myself smaller goals. So obviously I have big goals and I have small goals. Small goals could be landing a move. Like that's it. I just want to get this move. It could be a rose move. It could be a heel hook. It could be a toe hook. And if I get it, that keeps me motivated, because then I'm like, I see progress, and then it just gets me so psyched, because I'm like, all right, I could do this. I just need to put it all together now. Watching videos, music, training, seeing small progress, that's how you can stay motivated. Let's see. Next question. This is by George and Sung. How do you incorporate Hancampus board if you're already climbing 3 to 4 times a week? It's hard to climb and train in the same day. So this is, it's different for everyone. It's hard to say one thing and then somebody trying it and be like, this does not work. Because everybody's recovery is different, training methods are different. So it's just gotta be, you just gotta work around it. You just gotta make sure you get to train at least 2 times a week and climb as much as possible, but make sure you get your recovery in. So you just have to work around your schedule, even your work schedule and all that. So for me, what I do, I train and climb in the same day. So I train really hard and then I climb, but I work on my technique if it's in the same day. If it's another day, I focus strictly on training. So whatever it is that I'm training on, I focus on that. If it's power endurance, all I focus is power endurance for that day. But one thing that I don't do is climb hard every day. So if you're climbing 3 to 4 times a week, if I would climb 3 to 4 times a week, I don't climb hard all those 4 days a week. I don't. I mix it up. I add a day for technique, a day to work on a move, a day for training. So, it's a mixture. This one's by Chalk Climber. If you could climb anywhere with any pro climber, where would you climb and with who? Oh man. If I can climb with any pro climber, I would love to climb with Paul Robinson. I'm a huge Paul Robinson fan. I love his personality, how he climbs, and he just seems like a chill guy. I can see myself climbing with him. And the fact that he does YouTube and he loves filming as well, I'm sure we have a lot in common. We can talk about filming and climbing. So I would love to climb with Paul Robinson for sure. Where? Anywhere. Anywhere really, because I don't have a specific spot. Yeah, anywhere. Probably Joshua Tree. I love Joshua Tree. All right, there you go. Next question, and this is by the one and only Cone. How much time do you put into editing, and how much did your recording equipment cost? So it takes me a while. It takes me a long time. A lot of hours. And yeah, it's seriously, if you guys didn't watch these videos, man, I would have quit this a long time ago for sure, because it's a lot of work, and the payoff is so little. The AdSense it's nothing. How much did your recording equipment cost? I just used my cell phone, and well, I can't show it to you because I'm using it right now, but I just used my cell phone and a tripod. So my goal is to invest once I start earning some revenue, because it doesn't make sense for me to invest in something that I'm not really making an income from. Okay, what's next? Next question. This is by Barbell Steve. Really want to know your typical training week and how you go over any plateaus, keep improving. So we talked about the training per week, that it varies. Getting over plateaus is different for everyone. I ran into one plateau, and that was on V4s, when I started climbing V4s. And the reason why is I was so focused on strength training that my technique was lacking. I was lacking a lot of technique. I was just in a plateau phase where technique was very, very important. There's no way I can go past this plateau without technique. So what I did was take a step back and start working from V0s again and work on my technique. So sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take 2 steps forward. This one's by Eric Baker. How often do you climb outdoors, and do you change your indoor training ahead of an outdoor trip? I've been climbing outdoors a lot lately, once to twice a week. That's a lot for me. And yes, I do change my indoor training based on before I do an outdoor trip. So for instance, if I know I have an outdoor trip, bouldering trip for like a week, I train my endurance, my power endurance, my overall endurance for climbing, because I want to be able to go out there and perform my best as often as I can. So I build up my endurance before my trip. And also I work on a specific move that I know I'm gonna need for a specific climb. So yes, for sure. All right, this one's by Chef with a 3. What's your favorite kind of food? I'm a chef, so I'd like to know. This is the topic I love to talk about because I love food. So I'd be happy to answer this question. And I love anything with a lot of meat. So Korean barbecue and Asian food, typically Asian food, because I used to eat a lot of Mexican food at home, so I like to eat something different outside. So yeah, anything Asian food I like. A lot of meat, so protein. All right, next question is by Sean Yeep. Question: do you think climbing more statically or more dynamically is better for building strength? Not necessarily. I would, I'll just explain how I climb, so it probably helps out. I climb, if I can do the climb statically, I would do statically, not dynamically. If I have to use a dynamic move, I would use a dynamic move. I'm not focused on what move builds me more strength. I'm more about efficiency. If I can do something statically, reserve energy, I'm not trying to build strength at that point. I'm trying to climb the climb, send it. But again, it all depends on body type as well. I noticed that people that are shorter, they have to do more dynamic moves because of reach compensation. All right, hope that answers that question. What's next? All right, next question by Scrabble Plays. How you doing? I'm doing good, Scrabble Plays. Thank you for asking. Hope you're doing good too. Next question by Seifo84. Have you ever got an injury from climbing, and how did you deal with it? I currently finished my left tricep repair surgery. Oof. Man, wishing you a quick recovery, man. Sorry to hear about your injury. And yeah, oh man. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's whenever I hear somebody getting injured or a friend of mine, it sucks. It really sucks. It's kind of like, it's something that nobody wants. Nobody wants to go through an injury. Now, he's asking if I've been through an injury through climbing. I have not, thankfully. And that's something because I truly do listen to my body. If I feel something different, like on my fingers, I stop climbing. For instance, my shoulders too. I remember doing so many Gaston moves on a certain project, and as soon as I started feeling some sort of weirdness on my shoulder, I would completely stop. Sometimes I would just go home or so. But one time I did get a minor injury, but that's from soccer. That's not from climbing, but it did affect my climbing, and that was my right knee. But it's a lot better now. It's a lot better. I don't play soccer anymore because of that reason. All right, next question. Next question is by Horst Hegel. How often do you go climbing per week? We've answered that. Do you do any other complementary sports like yoga or swimming? And if yes, how much? You know, that's, you know, if I could, I would, but there's just no time for me. I try to do yoga. Yoga and swimming, first of all, are perfect. Like, if I could do either or on top of climbing, I would. But, you know, top of training, working, doing videos, doing trips, like, it's just so much. Like, if I include another, like, I'm already getting stressed out. Because I know if I have to do yoga, it's another thing that I have to worry about. Like I said, my goal is to keep my workouts and climbing as minimal as possible. And it's been very helpful to just simplify it. I know if I add another item to my list, it'll be difficult. If you can do yoga or swimming, that's awesome. That's like the best you can do. This is by Megan Wong. I think you mentioned a while ago that you don't do rope climbing as much. If so, I was just wondering what drawn you more to bouldering over rope climbing. Obviously, I do a lot more bouldering than rope. I love bouldering. Again, I'm a simple person. I love the simplicity of a boulder. All I need is a pair of shoes and chalk. Sometimes I don't even need a crash pad. But I love the simplicity of I can just jump on a climb, back and forth, do my training back and forth without, you know, relying on a belayer, without relying on gear. I just fell in love with bouldering, how intense it is for such a short climb. Now, I do sport climbing, but only outdoors. You rarely gonna see me doing sport climb indoors. Next question and last question, you guys, is by Notorious VIC. Did you set goals in order to become a better climber? If so, what did these goals entail? What were they? Physique related, climbing grade related, technique move related, etc. Yeah, for sure. You know, setting goals is what made me a better climber, like, indeed, like, for sure. And as you mentioned, physique related, my goal when I started off is to remove body fat. I went from 30% down to 12%, and now I'm probably up. I'm a little bit heavier now, but it's okay. Climbing grade related, I don't necessarily focus so much on climbing grades indoors. I focus more on technique related, like if I feel more comfortable with my footwork. So for instance, I used to stomp a lot on my footwork when I used to climb. So my goal was to do more silent feet and work on my footwork and do, you know, just do that. And once I saw improvement on that, I felt better. Next thing I worked on was stop readjusting my holds. And yeah, that's how you definitely improve. I'll probably do a video on that for sure. Let me know in the comments below if you would like me to do a video similar to that. All right, you guys, that is it. I'm sorry if I didn't get to some of your questions, and I just will try to go over some of the questions that I get asked a lot, or else this video goes out too long. Love you guys so much for watching. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.